Welcome to Breaking Dawn.
So, good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Tuesday, and as we resume play this Tuesday, at the top of the hour, we have some members of the TTPS coming in. They are also, well, they are part of another team. Remember, we had Voices in Blue on last week, and we have another team coming on this week contesting the elections for the Police Social Welfare Association. And that team will actually include acting ASP Pitt, all right, who I believe is the current treasurer or something so in the current association. So they will be in this morning in person, by the way, and we will have a chat with them. But before that, we have a few things on the agenda. We have Seth Viola board coming on later in the second hour. But before all of that, we've got to get into the news here as we say good morning to all of our regional viewers and those of you watching us internationally. Good morning. All right, let's go. Bodo hits wastage, $80 million in expired drugs and materials, $80 million. And firearms dealer alleges criminal conduct. The top cop will now probe DCP Martin. And that is Brent Thomas, I would presume. So Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence and Investigation, DCP INI, yes. Suzette Martin is now the subject of a police investigation after a report was made by a firearms dealer to Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara about potential criminal conduct on her behalf. Guevara made the announcement at a police media briefing on June 23rd at the Police Administration Building, Sackville Street, Port of Spain. We have that announcement he made. We'll get back to that. This will be a host of things that could be up for discussion in the first hour. Penny Slate sweeps PNM internals. That comes as no surprise. And Gonzalez says low turnout was not surprising. Or there was a low turnout. Okay. Privy Council upholds Privy Council upholds will leaving entire estate church. All right? You can read about that. THA wants $3.71 billion for next fiscal year. $3.71 billion. I'll do some maths on that for tomorrow. Don't worry. Samson says, demand for resources higher in Tobago than Trinidad. New Tobago West MP Joel Sampson says the demand for resources are higher in Tobago than Trinidad. However, he sees hope for the island amid a $621 million allocation to government ministries for spending in Tobago on top of the $134 million to the Tobago House of Assembly, which includes $32 million in supplementary expenditure and $102 million Development Bank of Latin America loan for coastal projects. Savannah Dyer murder accused denied bail. Kibwe Wells, the 21-year-old security officer from Laventille charged with the murder of Savannah Dyer, made his first court appearance on June 23rd and was denied bail. Wells of Quarry Street, East Dry River, appeared before Master Whitney Franklin in North Court C on June 23rd when he was remanded into custody. Right? All right, this is the accused. So this is the guy that he's 21 years old. The guy that said well, I would imagine okay, he's 21. This is the same guy that confessed to it. All right. Man robbed a traffic light by cross-dressing bandit. Lord have mercy. Where these are? Police held a suspect on June 22nd, hours after they received a report that a driver was robbed by a man wearing a dress. Around 3:40 a.m., the 29-year-old driver stopped his red Toyota Corolla at the traffic light near the Tragrit Road and Cipriani Boulevard intersection, and while waiting for the light to change, a man dressed in a black dress and black wig opened the back door on the passenger side and got in. The bandit put an ice pick to the driver's neck, announced the robbery, and told the victim to continue driving when the light turned green. The victim obeyed, and the bandit told him to turn left onto Victoria Avenue and stop near Tranquility Government School. The bandit then demanded $200 from the victim, who decided to fight back. The suspect grabbed the driver's gold chain, valued $3,500, before getting out of the car and running towards the La Perouse Cemetery. The bandit jumped over the cemetery wall and escaped, but police were able to recover evidence which led them to identify and detain a suspect. The man remains in custody as investigations continue. Lock your doors. No, that's serious thing, you know. You know when you bounce your starter and you're driving your car, you forget sometimes that when you open that lock, depending on how your alarm system is designed, but when you open that lock, all the locks in the car open, and then you go on your bounce your starter and you drive. But unless you press that button to lock every door, and some people will forget to do that, the doors are open. So when you stop, and I mean we're talking 3:40 a.m. in the morning here, or at any hour, right? You have to make sure your car doors are locked now. You know, I think it's something that we tend to forget to do. Barataria man charged with kidnapping and robbery after alleged car sale on Facebook. Lord have mercy. Another Facebook car sale. When will you all learn, Dread? There's somebody who went to buy a Nissan Tida. When will you all learn? Well, when you all learn, stop buying cars on Facebook. Or even if you're going to tell them, meet you by a police station, how hard is that to understand? What are we talking, Gibbridge? Is Gibbridge? Gibbridge. Two granted $300,000 bail on attempted murder charges in alleged gang attack. Health Minister hits waste at Southwest Regional Health Authority and NIPDEC. Borough says $80 million in expired drugs and material. $80 million. Wow. But that article is on page 9. It's a very long article. HEC begins repairs after concrete falls on person. Energy Minister says Trinidad and Tobago to benefit from Iran conflict. Energy and Energy Industries Minister Dr. Rudal Mundlal said Trinidad and Tobago stands to benefit from the conflict between the United States and Iran, which resulted in at least 2 super tankers capable of carrying 2 million barrels of crude oil making a U-turn in the Strait of Hormuz after U.S. airstrikes on Iran took place on June 22nd. And around 20% of global oil and gas supply is transported via that route. And the article goes on. Tobago West MP says population is growing. Justice Minister to support DPP and boost law courts. Chaitan Maharaj says no absolute power for minister. Brown queries ministers increase powers in Children Life Fund. This is with the Minister of Health. We'll talk about that. Apparently, the Minister of Health will have the final say in terms of applications or approval of applications for the Children's Life Fund, all right, for medical treatment for sick children. So, the opposition PNM is saying that, A, the minister should not have these powers, right? And I think what they're alluding to is that this should be put to like a board to make that decision, right? But we'll get into that. We'll get your thoughts on it. All right? In the meantime, what else do we have? Munilal said that Shell TT gas production increases and there is a partnership with Suriname coming out. I have that clip. All right? And well, those are some of the headlines in the paper this morning, some of the stories that you'll read about. And we will get back into those stories in just a little bit. Along with a very interesting development as Roger Alexander gave his contribution during the media review yesterday. And it was quite entertaining, I must say. Parliament is really, really become up. I tell you, the Parliament channel ratings going up, for sure. Thank God I don't want to compete with that because nobody in there this hour of the morning. Anyway, Eden Heights Clinic, one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean, and they offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb bagging, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. And they also offer consultation services including live blood analysis, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, knee, shoulder, back pain, and more. So you could check them out at any one of their 3 locations in Trinity, Chaguanas, or Tobago. And you could give them a call on 640-8985 or 613-7571. You could also WhatsApp them at 493-9196 or email them at edenheightsdistributors@gmail.com. That is Eden Heights Clinic. Check them out today. Also, Flow. Yeah, man. So at Flow, customers are at the heart of everything they do. Flow is committed to keeping your rhythm flowing by being close when you need them and keeping you seamlessly connected. No hurdles, no hassles, just round-the-clock support from people who understand what you need. And with 24/7 WhatsApp assistance, an all-in-one self-service app that makes it easy to manage your account, and in-store support when you need a familiar face, Flow is now more accessible to you than ever before. So they know that you depend on them for service that just works, and they're always improving their network and always working diligently to minimize interruptions. And if there's ever a problem, Flow will do what it takes to make it right. At Flow, they keep your rhythm flowing no matter what. So check them out today at Flow. Also, Chef Shiraz. Chef has the Certificate in Culinary Arts program, which starts on Saturday, 29th of July. We're urging you to sign up for that program. And before that takes place, there is also the Father's Day buffet menu that will happen on the 29th of June. That is this coming Sunday, the 29th of June, from 12 noon to 2:30 p.m. All right? And there will be live entertainment by Chris Garcia. It will take place at Ram Singh Plaza in Chaguanas. And this is where the Culinary Canvas Kitchen Studio is located. And for bookings for this and to sign up for the course that I mentioned a little while ago, you can contact Chef on 372-4639 or 737-5097. All right, they got a terrific menu as you look at it on the screen here. All right, terrific menu. It's a buffet menu, and this is also a fundraising event. I want to let you know it is a fundraising event. So by supporting this event, you will be supporting a terrific cause, and it's $350 for the buffet. If you have children under the age of 13, it's $175. And I'm saying to you, call, book, and be there on Sunday, June 29th. All right? It's going to be a terrific experience. All right? Nice fun. 16 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. I want to take this opportunity to remind you about Palm Star Promotions. I've seen a lot of talk about Tobago in the newspaper this morning. And Palm Star Promotions is giving your little star a chance to shine live on national TV. The 4th Annual National Spelling and Vocabulary Challenge is set for July 12th at Lowlands Mall, open to all primary school and homeschool children standards 3 to 5, ages 9 to 12 plus. And the top school with the most entries and points walks away with a desktop computer. Plus, there are chances to win tablets, medals, and much more. You can buy a courtesy Kotala dictionary at Charon's into the Pune City, San Juan, or Diego Martin and get 5% off. And you could register now by visiting Palm Star Promotions online or call Auntie Esther on 471-2604. Dress code, no uniforms, dress elegantly casual, and let's build confidence one word at a time, only with Palm Star Promotions. And with that, we're going to take our first break. When we come back from the break, we're going to get into some content and some calls. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
Welcome to South Point Hotel Barbados, your gateway to a luxury oasis of tranquility, comfort, and impeccable service. Nestled along the popular south coast of Barbados, South Point Hotel is a true haven for those seeking relaxation, rejuvenation, and unforgettable experiences. From the moment you arrive, you'll be enveloped by an ambiance of serenity that effortlessly blends with the stunning flora and fauna surrounding you. The accommodations are spacious, elegant, and thoughtfully designed to ensure maximum comfort. Each room offers a perfect retreat where you can unwind, rejuvenate, and be pampered with the exceptional service of attentive staff. Indulge in the extraordinary at Driftwood, the in-house restaurant, where culinary excellence meets coastal charm. Driftwood's menu is a celebration of fresh, local ingredients, expertly crafted to create a dining experience that will take your palate on a delightful gastronomic journey the Bajan way. Whether you're here to relax by the pool, enjoy a delicious meal, or explore the enchanting beaches nearby, every moment at South Point Hotel is crafted to exceed your expectations. Book your stay today and immerse yourself in the luxury oasis that South Point Hotel offers. Discover a destination where every detail is thoughtfully curated for your enjoyment. South Point Hotel Barbados, creating memories that last a lifetime. For reservations, email them at reservations@southpointhotelbarbados.com or call 1246-424-7744 or check out the website www.southpointbarbados.com.
No time to waste this vacation. Join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, we have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to celebrate a legend
Valentina and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina.
in the ultimate tribute to the Calypso King of the world.
Education, education, this is the foundation.
Be part of an unforgettable night of music, memories, and magic as some of his younger proteges take the stage to honor the majestic and magnificent, the Mighty Sparrow.
This is no time to say you are federating no more.
All happening Friday, July 25th at the iconic Grandstand, Queens Park, Savannah. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. Tickets $300 and $250, but first edition tickets bought by Monday, June 30th, cost $75 less.
For more info, call 491-1802.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
To strengthen your immune system, you need to nourish your body with foods rich in antioxidants. Exercise regularly and build your immunity with supportive nutrients. That's why the experts at Jameson created products for immune support made with pure ingredients. For 100 years, Jameson has helped take care of you and your family. At Jameson, your wellness will always be our goal. Jameson, here for your health.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details, including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. Reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
I would have received a report from a firearms dealer against a Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ms. Suzette Martin. That matter is well voiced in the public domain, and as a result of that, I would have decided to take some decisive action in terms of bringing to the fore accountability and transparency in dealing with the matter.
All right, so that is the Commissioner of Police there, Alistair Guevara, announcing yesterday that there will be an investigation into DCP Suzette Martin's conduct or actions against firearm dealer Brent Thomas, I would imagine. And because, I mean, it's the only firearm dealer that, you know, we could recall over the last 2 years had an incident here with DCP Martin. And I think this is long overdue. All right? And let me see. Asked about the nature of the allegations against Martin, Guevara said it was well ventilated about a particular firearms dealer concerns about how he was treated by the police. The firearms dealer would have indicated that certain acts would have been carried out against him, and he felt it was bordering on criminal conduct. He said, quote, I would not want to pronounce on what exactly is that criminal conduct because an investigation is ongoing and we are certain that the investigation, when completed, will uncover whatever criminal conduct exists. I ask that you wait for the results of the investigation. He said he did not wish to say whether Martin was the only person of concern. All right? And a high-profile 2022 case involving a local firearms dealer and the state, which was even discussed in the Barbados Parliament, involved Brent Thomas, owner of Specialist Shooters Training Center. And the gun dealer sued for constitutional relief, redress against the state and the DPP after being arrested, arrested again in Barbados, and forcibly removed to Trinidad and Tobago. And a number of his firearms were also seized by the state and deemed illegal. All right? The Barbados government has acknowledged officers had fallen short of the law by acting without an extradition request. So we have all of that going on there. That is an issue with DCP Martin and the firearms dealer. We also have Dr. Rudal Munilal, who made an announcement during the media review yesterday in the Parliament. He was speaking as it relates to a deal that has been struck between Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname. Could you run me that clip from the start? Yeah, man.
As most of the countries are aware, last week we were well represented at the Suriname Energy, Oil and Gas Summit 2025, and we were very heartened that our representation there, led by the Permanent Secretary and State Board leaders, within days, that representation has produced results. Of course, the very distinguished member for Point Fortin, Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, myself, were elected. And we were compelled to remain in Trinidad and Tobago to attend to the business of the Parliament and the business of the people. This is our first call. This is our first call. We are not here to be Marco Polo and travel all over the world and abandon the Parliament. That is not our approach. But Mr. Speaker, you'll be happy to know that in key discussions, the Trinidad and Tobago delegation, briefed by the ministry and the ministers in this case, and inspired by the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister for a new regional strategy to position Trinidad and Tobago once again as the energy hub of the Caribbean. That vision found its way to Suriname, and we are happy to announce that in discussions with Statoil, which is the state oil company of Suriname, we have now made progress on several areas of cooperation between the state oil company of Suriname and the state companies of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, so that was Dr. Rudal Munilal in the media review yesterday. The other thing that we want to touch on, and it's interesting that he said that he and another elected official that sit in the Ministry of Energy, they did not make the trip. They sent the people who are the experts in the oil and gas sector to go do the negotiating, which was how it's supposed to be. Not the Prime Minister and anybody else flying around the world making gas deals. You understand what I'm saying? You leave that to people who are appointed to deal with that and who sit on boards that know about the oil and gas sector, that are experts in that field to go and deal with that, right? Which is how it was supposed to be. Now, the other thing that came out yesterday as in the paper this morning, there are concerns about increased powers to the Minister of Health as it relates to the Children Life Fund bill. And Opposition Senator Dr. Amory Brown has questioned the rationale behind giving increased powers to the Health Minister with respect to determining which application to the Children's Life Fund Authority are approved or not. Brown said the medical treatment of children was happening long before the Children Life Fund, which is an evolution of this treatment. Brown also questioned the way which the UNC chooses to treat medical professionals and former health ministers. He made these statements in his contribution to debate on the CLF Amendment Bill 2025 in the Senate on June 23rd, and the bill was passed in the House of Representatives with amendments on June 13th. Responding to an earlier contribution by Social Development Ministry Parliamentary Secretary Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maraj Brown observed the bill allowed for the minister to intervene with respect to determining which application to the Children's Life Fund for medical treatment should be approved by the CLFA's board. And during the debate on the bill in the House, Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, said such interventions could happen in situations where there is a delay in sending a child abroad for medical treatment. Brown said, quote, "We are talking about a very, very serious determination." But he added, those are the kinds of interpretations that the authority has been specifically entrusted to determine. And he asked government senators, why would you wish to take that away from an authority and put it on a minister, a politician appointed by a prime minister? End quote. Brown said he was not imputing any improper motive against anyone. Brown said, let me see. He said, what is the objective of doing that? What is the rationale for inserting the Minister of Health, notwithstanding whatever qualifications the current minister may have? He said, we are not legislating for 2030 or 2028 or whenever this government would collapse. We have to legislate for the future. Chaitan Maraj, he continued, did not provide enough justification for the insertion of the minister in the legislation in a contribution. All right, now, he goes on to talk, right, and talk about certain qualifications and so on and so forth, right? But the main takeaway here is that the PNM, in opposition now, is challenging this move where the Minister of Health would have a say in the approvals of applications to the Children's Life Fund. Okay? However, I am getting the gist here, according to what the Health Minister said, that there will be times that the minister has to intervene where certain delays are taking place. I do not think that that is far-fetched or beyond the portfolio of a health minister to do so. I have no problem with a board being appointed to make these decisions, okay? Right? The Children's Life Fund Authority, you know, whatever it might be. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it either way. I don't know what your thoughts are, but we'll get to that. All right? We'll get to your thoughts on this. Okay? There is the contribution here by Dr. Chaitan Maraj, where she says, and there's a headline right next to the one that Amy Brown is in, saying no absolute power for minister. So I'll read you a little part of that. Social Development Ministry Parliamentary Secretary Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj assured senators that the Children's Life Fund Amendment Bill 2025 does not grant the health minister total power regarding the approval of applications to the CLF authority for medical treatment for sick children. She made this comment as she concluded debate on the bill in the Senate on June 23rd. Concerns were raised by opposition and independent senators during the debate about this. Chaitan Maharaj said the bill does not grant the minister absolute power in these matters. She added provisions are made in the legislation whereby he can seek counsel from relevant consultants and specialists. In its clause in the bill, which can be questioned, that can be appealed, Chaitan Maharaj claimed there is a precedent to give the minister this power. She said this is found in the Tongue and Country Planning Act, the Immigration Act, which allows appeals on certain matters to be addressed by the relevant minister. She acknowledged Opposition Senator Dr. Amy's Brown concern about the deluge of applications to the CLFA and Independent Senator Dr. Desiree Murray's suggestion that the term condition should replace the term illness in the bill. Chaitan Maharaj gave the assurance that the schedule of illnesses in the legislation will be reviewed from time to time. She thanked Opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi for his legal suggestions on the bill, but Chaitan Maharaj lamented such suggestions were not forthcoming from him while he was in government over the last 9 years. On concerns raised by opposition Senator Foster Cummings about people trying to exploit the CLFA through potential loopholes in the law, Chaitan Marad said, quote, "That's a projection of moral standards whereby one's thought process goes straight to ways to abuse the system." The Senate was deliberating the bill in committee stage past 7 p.m. last night. All right, like I say, I do not think it is absolute power from what I understand, given what the health minister is saying, given what Dr. Chaitan Maraj is saying, given what Amy Brown is saying. I think, I don't know if they're trying to sell it a particular way, but it seems to me that the minister will have powers to intervene in certain instances. But we're going to go to the phone line this morning and get some thoughts on you some thoughts from you before we get to another order of business. I'm going to just take about 4 or 5 calls here very quickly before I mention something here that needs to be mentioned. All right, so 327-7400. There is a lot of things bubbling, but if you could keep your calls as short and to the point as possible, that would be great. Hello, good morning. Morning. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Stefan, this is what I don't like. You see, when the PNL was in power, they could take over everything, infiltrate all the institutions, right? Even take the merit lists and nobody getting up and saying nothing, even the Brown and them. I don't really understand these people. That's why I don't really want to hear them. And you know something, what will happen there? You will see all the time how the independent senators and them will side with the opposition. Because you don't know who they have as president. I go on from that, brother.
All right, no problem. Yeah. 327-7400. There is something that I want to mention. You know, it's interesting that they have all kind of hotline for people who want to be victimized, and they're talking about all these little things. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Stefan.
Yeah, morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, I continue to be baffled by the position Mr. Amy Brown, Dr. Amy Brown has been taking. If you recall, he was the first person to experience his head being chopped off or the chopping block, figuratively that is, when he was even forced to withdraw his submission as a candidate to be considered for the constituency of Diego Martin West.
Diego Martin West, that's right.
Yeah, he was the first casualty, right? And here it is now, as I said, that I may be taking things a little too far or too serious. But the minister, or the parliamentary secretary, Dr. Chaitan, did say that if we look to the Town and Country Planning Division, if you have an application and for some reason it has been refused, you can now make an appeal to the minister.
To the minister.
The minister does not, however, sit to approve or disapprove your appeal.
Yes.
What she has is a committee who advises her, and yes, she do sign the eventual approval if it is decided that you'd give an approval.
Okay.
So, you know, we can be shifting position, particularly Dr. Amy Brown. He continues to disappoint me, not that it means much, but he continues to disappoint me with the stand that he has been taking. Have a pleasant day.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah. That's a pretty good point that you make there. And I mean, this is, I mean, I don't know what they're making all this fuss over this for. It's as if they're trying to, listen, fear-mongering I do not think will work at this stage. I think you all have to come better than that. These cheap tricks will not work. Come with something substantial, no, man, something with substance. Hello, good morning. Or challenge something, you know. Morning.
Yes, sir, good morning. Yeah, now, Suzette Martin just getting karma right now, you know. All the things that she did in the past. Now, I can't really blame her directly, but what I can tell you is a lot of politicians, a lot of seniors who are dashboard puppies, who would do the bidding without questioning them.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, I know of a lot of officers who work under this woman, and allegedly, she was always victimizing them and advantaging them. So, whatever she gets now, she needs to take it with a smile because of what she did to people.
All right, no problem. Thanks a lot. Let me take another one here. Before I get into, I just want to read something for you all as it relates to something that took place over the weekend. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Stefan.
Morning.
I think the article referred to one Dr. Murray, an independent senator, yes? I don't know.
Yes. She also had some concerns. Yes.
Yeah, she gave a very good contribution when it comes to changing the word illness to condition. She gave a good argument for it. I advise anybody to look at the Parliament channel. Actually, the Parliament, the Senate and the House of Representatives met yesterday simultaneously, you know, Mr. Stefan?
Simultaneously, yes.
Yes, the last time I heard of that, after the Parliament was refurbished. A while, yes.
I have not remembered that.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Yes, and when it comes to this whole amendment to this act, by the way, over 249 children have been saved from this, saved due to this act, according to the Independent Senator. She gave us a statistic. But you remember when it made the news that the board that controls the Children Life Fund at the time was waiting on a legal opinion from the AG office. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Unfortunately, they didn't get it in time. And unfortunately, the child left the earth.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Right. That's how this come about. So you want to wait on a legal opinion again from whoever the AG is. He will forget quick. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So this year, the government though, and everybody happy with the Children Life Fund, you know? Opposition, independent and everything. But it's ironic that for 10 years after that incident, or 8 years after the incident, the former government in amend the law to assist no children at all. But they say they care for children. Just remember, before the Children Life Fund, $60,000 was the most again from the state. Under the former PNM Minister of Health. Remember that? But I forget that already. And if the surgery is $800,000, $1 million, $60,000 only was getting from the great PNM that love and care for all the children in the world. You understand?
All right.
But I'll call back in.
Right. No problem. Yeah, bud. Cool. All right. So I'll tell you what, I'll take this final one and then I just want to mention something here. Just as an example of total victimization. Hello, good morning.
Morning. It doesn't matter who makes the decision as long as the children who are ailing and request this money for treatment gets it. Because it is what it was really designed for, the whole intention. So when we say a minister or a board, it doesn't matter once it is approved and that treatment is rendered locally or foreign or privately or however you want to look at it. It is about saving lives.
Right.
And it is what it was designed for. In terms of Miss Martin, I always wondered who gave the order for her to investigate Erla Christopher. Where did that order come from?
Where did that order come from? Yes.
Yeah, the new commissioner of police is given the order now to investigate her. And he cannot suspend her or send her home. The commissioner have to do that. So it means, therefore, what went on before with Erla Christopher was totally unjust, whether we like Erla Christopher or not. And Ms. Martin now will now have to follow procedure and get a taste of her own medicine. Do so and like so. But that's how the thing has to go.
Okay. Yeah, man. I just want to turn your attention to something else that took place over the weekend that I didn't get a chance to mention yesterday. I want to mention it very quickly. But Rockard is back. So Rockard Cement has returned to the local market, all right, in an article printed June 21st. And Rockard Cement is back and is promising to offer cost-effective cement while challenging Trinidad Cements Limited monopoly in this country. Speaking to the Express via telephone, Managing Director of Rockard Distributors Ryan Ramit confirmed the return of the cement importer to Trinidad and Tobago market. And Ramit's confirmation follows sightings of bags bearing the company's logo being transported along the Beetham Highway. Now, I want to read you something here. He went on to say, quote, like many of you, our construction business faced significant challenges prior to 2016 due to the excessive price of cement in Trinidad and the Caribbean. Rockard Cement was established in order to provide the Caribbean consumers with high quality and affordable cement, as we are grateful that for the past 5 years we have been able to achieve this goal, Rockard stated in 2021. Now, he went on to say, many of you are aware that we have faced continuous challenges from the government of Trinidad, initially in the form of misclassification, which meant we were charged a higher rate of duty than was legally allowed for our cement. Despite succeeding before the Caribbean Court of Justice, we were immediately faced with a 600% rise in import duties to 35% for 2020. We fought this, and we were again successful, only for the government to increase the rate of duty by 900% to 50% at the end of 2020, whilst at the same time imposing a quota limiting us to importing only 55,000 tons of cement for 2021, it stated. Rockart stated then that it had fought the government on both the rate of duty and the imposition of the quota. Unfortunately, the combination of a limit of imports of 55,000 tons combined with an import duty of 50% means that Rockart Distribution Inc. simply cannot operate in Trinidad. All right? And they ended up leaving the market. Now, one must ask themselves, while the PNM have this hotline for victimization, is that not victimization? You impose something on me, I challenge you in the Caribbean Court of Justice, I win, and you come and impose it again at a higher rate. Purposely, or for the sole purpose of running me out of the market, for whatever reason. Now, what happened when Rockart left the market? The article goes on to say, since Rockart exited the Trinidad and Tobago market, Trinidad Cement Limited raised cement prices 5 times. Cement prices rose by 15.6% in December of 2021. As soon as Rockart leave, they raise the price on you, the consumer. And it is you, the consumer, and I want you to understand that. So when they stand up in Parliament and they want to talk about responsible governance and responsible leadership, keep in mind that the construction industry affects a lot of pricing, right? So in other words, the cost of living. When cement is more expensive, construction is more expensive, right? When construction rates goes up, other things go up as well. They then raised their TCL by 7% again. They raised the price by 7% again in August of 2022. They then raised the price by 5% more in March of 2023. They raised the price by 7.6% more in February of 2024. And most recently in February 2025, they made another 7% increase in the price of cement. Why? Because they have a monopoly on the market. That is what the former administration encouraged to happen. They encouraged you to be the victim of a monopoly, digging the last dollar out your pocket, carrying up the price of construction, right? And in an almost comical last paragraph, following TCL's decision to raise the price of cement 5 times in 5 years, then Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Schoon had expressed disappointment over the price increase. They are responsible for that increase happening. They are solely responsible for a monopoly being created in Trinidad and Tobago. And then after they create the problem and they dig out your eye, they come to express disappointment. And I use this article as an example of all the nonsense that's coming out of their mouth now. Because many of them were part and parcel of all of that. They never raised the issue, never raised the eyebrow, they never gave an input. They never spoke out against things like this, things that would put you under pressure as a consumer. And that is top class, a top class example of victimization. You read that article. Go and read that article. And when you read that entire article, you will see the level of victimization that Rockart Cement had to go through. Till they say, no, we leave the market, and TCL, what did TCL do? Take advantage of you. And that was allowed to happen. So when they're standing up in Parliament, and when they're talking about equality, and they're talking about justice, and they're talking about all these little things, and they're trying to talk about fear of victimization, and we'll create a hotline for that. Where was the hotline for Rockart Cement? Where were all the voices then? And unfortunately, this is what existed. So if you just woke up and you did not know, or you may have forgotten of what people went through for the last 10 years, that is a prime example. That's just one example. Anyway, in the time that I've left in this hour, there are two clips that I want to leave you with so that you could have a little laugh this morning. Of course, Roger Alexander has been going back and, well, he's been under some scrutiny. And Marvin Gonzalez recently questioned his, style of delivery in the Parliament. But outside of that, Roger Alexander, there were two moments yesterday where you just had to laugh. And one had to do with these drones that were bought under the last administration. According to Alexander, the Minister of Homeland Security, these drones weren't up to the task. Run me the Toys R Us now.
Promises never materialize. CCTV and drones. The drones that they bought here was from Toys R Us. Mr. Speaker, if you want to know what is happening at this time, at PTSC, you could send the drone. But if it is happening further than PTSC, you will have to send the drone, bring down the drone, put an X battery, send it again, collect it by Caroni River, put it on, send it again, and then reach it. It's like a taxi. But yet, money after money after money spent never materialized.
Alexander said the drones that were bought by the PNM in the last administration was from Toys R Us. All right, not high-tech drones that we would have expected. And then he fired some shots back at Marvin Gonzalez yesterday that caused Marvin Gonzalez to go on the defensive, and then the speaker intervened. And this to me was a classic. And by the way, if you listen to Roger Alexander speak, I don't see any problem with the man's delivery. Yes, in his maiden speech, every 2-3 words it was a full stop, right? But when he talking, normal, right? As you could see there, he's not reading from anything. He's not reading from anything. So when he doesn't have a script in front of him, nothing is wrong with him speaking fluently. Take me to the Roger Alexander clip and the drama between him and Marvin Gonzalez, please. All you take a little laugh this morning.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to tell the member for Lupino Aruka, same thing? Yeah? I would like to tell him this. When you came to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, I remember you quite well. Mr. Speaker, when somebody comes to a new institution, you hold their hands. You walk them in the park after that to show them the way. Yes. But instead, he chose to put his knees on my neck, and try to damage my character. But I remember the goodly gentleman. We used to call him Just Wouldn't.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of order, 48-6. Yes, President. Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Can you explain the improper motive being imputed to you?
Mr. Speaker, the member referring to the Honourable Member of Parliament for Aruka Lupino is saying that I put my knees to his neck.
I think it was rather figuratively.
No, Mr. Speaker, that is imputing improper motive.
Hang on. If I'm to get the gist of your complaint, the gist of your complaint is that the member actually means that you put your physical knee on his physical neck. Is that what you're saying?
Mr. Speaker.
Hang on a second. Am I to understand that your interpretation of what the honourable member just said is that hang on a second. That what the honourable member just said is that you are actually putting your physical knee on his physical neck.
Mr. Speaker, I raise a point of order. It is your responsibility to rule on it.
Well, I'm trying to elicit from you the gravamen of the facts upon which you rely on 48.6. You see, 48.6, for the benefit of members of the public, and I don't want to take too much time up, is no member shall impute improper motive to any member of either house. So all the member was saying, and it is a literary device used very frequently by writers. As a matter of fact, the member for Diego Martin West accused the entire government of being mendacious and governing on vendetta. I allowed it. This is simply the employ of a literary device, overruled.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Just wouldn't understand. Keep going, Roger.
We just at the point where I understand why my good friend behaved. We remember him back in the day. He just wouldn't come to work. He just wouldn't take a report.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Oh God, hey. If it didn't have a little giggle like that, just wouldn't, you know. Alexander say, this is called Gonzalez, just wouldn't. He just wouldn't come to work. He just wouldn't take a report. Hey, you see me? Let me go to the break, boys. So I'll tell you what, people. We have members of another team who will be contesting the Police Social Welfare Association elections on June 30th. And they're here with us. We're going to have a chat with them. Acting ASP Pitt, who you all are familiar with, is one of the officers here this morning. We'll get acquainted with the others as we chat with them this morning. So stay tuned. We will return. Just before we go to the break, Director, let me just give them the Keolic now. So, of course, we've got to remind you about the Keolic range of products, which is backed by science and has over 900 scientific research and clinical trials. It's made from aged garlic extract, which is organically grown and aged without heat to convert the harsh and unstable organosulfur compounds in garlic into odorless, non-irritating and bioavailable compounds. So you can try any of the products in the Keolic range, including the Keolic Cleanse and Digestion, the Keolic Blood Pressure Health, the Keolic Cholesterol Health, the Keolic Total Heart Health, and Keolic Circulation Health, all proven to be effective in sustaining healthy levels and all including the aged garlic extract formulation. There's also the Keo Green Powder Drink Mix and Keodophilus Probiotics. The Keolic aged garlic extract introduces a powerful range of products that can provide the health benefits needed to live a strong life, supporting cardiovascular health, immune health, gut health, and so much more. So get the Keolic range of products at pharmacies and health stores across the country. And for more information, you can WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. And finally, JNP Pest Control. Let me just remind you that JNP Pest Control Limited are experts in all types of pest control, ranging from termites to rodents, ants, cockroaches, lawn pests, and much more. And they're armed with the latest techniques and technologies, including fumigation for drywood termites. JNP Pest Control's professionally trained staff are ready to tackle even the most difficult infestations. And for a free inspection and quotation, you could contact them today at 61 to 65 Covine Road in Diego Martin. You can also call 227-0835. You can WhatsApp 250-8397, and you can email them at jppestcontrol@hotmail.com. So get in contact with them today and let them shield your home or business from pesky pests. And with that, we take the break. When we come back, we will chat with the police. Stay tuned.
Elevate 2025 University Fair, Trinidad. This is more than just a fair. It's a space to connect, to ask real questions, to upskill and transform your future. Meet top universities from the UK, USA, Canada, and Caribbean, plus local institutions, companies and establishments, dignitaries and Caribbean alumni. Hear from a team that gets you real advice, real opportunities and real success stories. Just a community pushing you higher. Benefit from university placements, admission guidance, career networking, scholarships, insider tips and mentorship. AJ Academic Agency has invested in your success from application to alumni. Join us Sunday the 6th of July 2025 at the Hilton Trinidad from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Entry is free. Elevate your options. Elevate your network. Elevate your future. Visit ajacademicagency.com to learn more.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. is we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh Ji. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh Ji. He is an expert in palm, face and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh Ji at +1 86838443844. Located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to South Point Hotel Barbados, your gateway to a luxury oasis of tranquility, comfort, and impeccable service. Nestled along the popular south coast of Barbados, South Point Hotel is a true haven for those seeking relaxation, rejuvenation, and unforgettable experiences. From the moment you arrive, you'll be enveloped by an ambiance of serenity that effortlessly blends with the stunning flora and fauna surrounding you. The accommodations are spacious, elegant, and thoughtfully designed to ensure maximum comfort. Each room offers a perfect retreat where you can unwind, rejuvenate, and be pampered with the exceptional service of attentive staff. Indulge in the extraordinary at Driftwood, the in-house restaurant, where culinary excellence meets coastal charm. Driftwood's menu is a celebration of fresh, local ingredients, expertly crafted to create a dining experience that will take your palate on a delightful gastronomic journey the Bajan way. Whether you're here to relax by the pool, enjoy a delicious meal, or explore the enchanting beaches nearby, every moment at South Point Hotel is crafted to exceed your expectations. Book your stay today and immerse yourself in the luxury oasis that South Point Hotel offers. Discover a destination where every detail is thoughtfully curated for your enjoyment. South Point Hotel Barbados, creating memories that last a lifetime. For reservations, email them at reservations@southpointhotelbarbados.com or call 1246-424-7744 or check out the website www.southpointbarbados.com.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details, including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. Reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
All right, so we're back on Breaking Dawn this morning. Everybody in black, boy. All I'm missing is the shirt. Yeah, boy, I don't get one of them shirts, boy. I mean, I'll be looking like, I look like part of the team, kind of.
Of course, but
all
you're
right.
part of the team.
So we got Team Prime with us this morning. For those of you who have been watching the program, you've been following things, the TTPS, the Police Social Welfare Association elections is on to vote in a new association members. Yeah. And Team Prime is here with us. And to my immediate left, we have a man that you all are very familiar with, Acting ASP Pitt is with us this morning. We also have to my far left, acting ASP, Obi Russell. All right. And the man in the middle is PC Nichols. Nichols? Nichols. Right? PC Nichols, otherwise known as Coal in the Ice. So for the rest of this interview, I will refer to him as Coal in the Ice.
Yes, please.
All right, nice. And they say yes, please. They told me yes. Coal in the Ice. Nice. All right, so guys, the association elections is on next week, Monday. You're less than a week away. I think it's the 30th of June, correct, Pitt?
That is correct.
All right, nice. So there are several issues I would imagine that the TPS, the members of the TTPS want to see addressed.
Of course.
I guess I'll start with the SRP issue, because that we had another team in last week, and they mentioned that there has been some concern in terms of representation for SRPs. So I don't know if we could start there. What is the scenario with the SRPs and what you all have planned for them?
Okay, so first and foremost, thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure being here. Well, this is the first time in this capacity, of course.
Of course, yes.
So let me just address the surface regarding the SRP municipal issue, and then I'll pass you on to Mr. Coal in the Ice,
right,
who will be the first time ever Special Reserve representative going up regarding this election. I want to say the first time ever. This election is historic. It's the first time in the history of all TTP-SSW elections that we have brought the municipal rep and a Special Reserve rep to the table.
Okay.
Let me bring that into context. We have been accepting dues from Special Reserve officers and municipal police officers from time immemorial. Okay. We have always boasted that the Special Reserves bring that level of stability and that level of support to the TTPS. And similarly, they also bring that level of stability and support to the association, given their membership.
Okay.
It is in that regard that Team Prime, who is the incumbent, saw it fit that if it is, we have this grouping of persons who have a significant interest, a significant membership, and their dues are no different to anybody else, then they deserve a seat at the round table. So similarly, how we have FDO rep, we have Special Reserve rep, we have municipal rep. So it's not a case of being divisive and saying here what, they are not entitled to be part of this. It's a case of being inclusive. Because where were those persons all the time?
Okay.
When the Special Reserves were voting all along, and when they were participating all along, when they were making their contributions, when they were benefiting, where were those persons to say that the Special Reserve and the municipal don't deserve a seat? But I've spoken enough on that. Let me bring in Mr.
Coal in the Ice, man. Coal in the Ice.
Morning, sir.
Yeah,
morning
man.
to the viewing public of Trinidad and Tobago. Happy to be here.
Nice one.
So, first of all, I would like to say that I am very thankful for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Special Reserve officers. It has been a long road. It has been a long, hard road in coming, but we are here today in 2025, and I intend to do proper representation for the body of SRPs going forward for the next 3 years. Now, to build on what Mr. Pitt would have said, where were these people when SRPs were getting locked out of association meetings? Where were these persons when SRPs, few of us in number, were fighting for the benefits of officers? Where were these people? Because all of a sudden now they came to realize that it have a rule book, and they came to realize that it have SRPs that exist, because for years we have been clamoring in the trenches for some kind of redemption, and now that this slate of officers, Team Prime, has said that we will respect the input of the Special Reserve officers. Now you're coming 14 days before the election to say that SRPs are not entitled to work. And for any officer who is viewing this program at this point in time, I would call on each right-thinking officer to disregard that team, disregard that nonsensical rhetoric. We are moving forward. we have to look towards our future, and we also have to remember that the trail that we are blazing is clearing the way for other officers to come when we long gone. Right. So in relation to being historic, we could look back at this in years to come and say that we did this and we did it together. Okay. And the persons who would be pushing the mantra of division, well, I hope that they go home and sit down and pray and ask the Almighty for forgiveness for that, because we are coming together, we are showing that networking, we are seeing the benefits, and we look forward to June 30th.
All right, nice one. All right, so that's on the SRP issue. I didn't know municipal, I thought was, because I remember when we doing behind the badge and we talk about municipal police versus regular police. Yeah. I thought they were under different.
No, well, this is, remember, this is association.
Oh, this is right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
right.
so this is within the context of association, of the Toronto
so the association represents.
Association. That's right. We have members who are also municipal police officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Is that one thing I want to ask you, might be off. I don't know if this have to do with the association.
Yeah.
The credit union tied in, the credit union is fallen.
No.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, separate entity.
All right.
Yes.
All right. In terms of housing.
But I know you might connect it because there are persons who are offering themselves who also are part of the credit union.
A part of the, yes. So I just wanted to know.
It's an what I will call an understandable observation.
All right, cool. Yes, because somebody, the reason why I raised it to her, my mother always telling me go and join the police credit union, and I said, but that's for police.
Yeah.
And she said no. Your grandfather was a member. And the benefits and so on and so forth. Now. But anyway, housing is another issue for people in the protective services as well. Everybody wants, or would like to see that housing is afforded to them, especially if you're going to have a job in the TTPS or the Coast Guard or the Defense Force, anywhere that you're putting your life on the line, and that's part of your daily routine, housing is something that people would like to see afforded to them. So what is Team Prime doing in order to bring affordable housing to officers within the TTPS?
Good, excellent question. And I know Mr. Russell, he is waiting with bated breath to enter the discussion.
Yes.
So I think I will defer this question.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. So, I, Ori Russell, am the chair of the Housing Committee.
Okay, all right, nice one.
Housing and it's not what are we doing, but what have we done so far? Okay. Because persons, people have to understand the length through which Team Prime is going to ensure that our members benefit. Forget all the rumors that are taking place at this point in time. This is an association that cares. So what have we done? We recognize that the 10% allotted to us, to the protective services through HDC's initiative, is not enough. Right. So the 10%, let's say a development has 100 houses. The 10% is 10 houses that have to share between the police service, fire service, prison service, defense force, etc.
Right.
So we're looking at 1.5 house per person for protective service. A man can't live in a half a house. We know there are officers who may have come into property by way of a family passed on and left something for them. Some persons may inherit some stuff. Some persons may be able to buy something cheap and fix it up. So we take our first thing called the Halfway and Beyond program, where through salary deductions, where the association will qualify you. So you don't have to face the rigors of going through the banking system. Because we understand life happens and some officers may have loans and may not be able to qualify for the necessary quantum of finances that is necessary to do that house. You may have a daughter, you may have a son that is getting old and you need to move them in separate rooms. So the Hardware and Beyond is a facility that allows you, the individual, to obtain goods, building materials through a credit facility where salary deductions are done from your salary through the association so you can complete that renovation. We give up to 2 times your salary, and in special cases, let's say 2 times your salary may not be sufficient. You can write to us and we sit on a needs basis. We may grant you a facility even above that based on your circumstances. But we didn't stop there. Years ago, I wanted to invest in a property and I recognized that with no loans as an inspector of police, the money that I qualified for could not have even purchased the land. Really? And I said, yeah. And I said, if at this rank with this money, this is what you're qualified for, then what goes on with the constable?
Right.
Because the Trinidad mortgage system is set up in a way where when you're young and you now join, you don't have the 10% down payment.
Right.
But you have the years.
Yeah.
And by the time you acquire the years, by the time you acquire the 10% down payment and the legal fees, you do have the years.
Right.
So it's a kind of bit of an oxymoron. So we embarked on a rent-to-own initiative. What the rent-to-own initiative is really about, we are going out to developers and we want to purchase the house wholesale. And let me say right here and then, because we formed a company called the Blue Legacy.
Right.
Blue Legacy is a company formed by the association, but to this date, Blue Legacy has not used any funds for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and Welfare Association. So much so saying, if any funds have to go from the association to Blue Legacy, there must be a meeting.
Right.
Persons must vote because that is the membership funds. And this prime executive is very responsible, bold caps and underline, with the members' funds. So what we do, we buy the houses wholesale, that's the model, and we rent to own them to the members. Why rent to own? Because we now could determine a minimum profit, 1. 2, many a times your mortgage would start at 2%, but it goes up 3, 4, 5% until it reaches that threshold. Your rent is constant for whether 15 years or 20 years based on the price we get the house for.
Right.
So you could budget for that. And after a number of years, you own that house. You could bring on your brother, you could bring on your son, you could bring on your wife, and we qualify you. Here's the next good thing. It's at least 30% cheaper than going to the regular system for a mortgage.
Okay.
In addition to which, you could pass it on to your relatives at that point in time. So we give you that opportunity to own something. It's something where you could go, you could come to us, we do the qualifying, and notwithstanding that you have a loan, you could still come up with it. Another good feature of it is that when you go to the bank, and the bank asks for that 10%, you have to find all. We allow you to build up your 10%
over a period of time.
Over a period of time. Okay. So you have an overtime coming, you could channel it there.
Right.
And we will continue to introduce new initiatives because there are persons, as we launched our discount cards, there are other hardwares, there are groceries. Yes, we have a discount card that we would have now launched. We have it. Right. So we are seeking the members' interest. So you can go to bookstores and we want to get groceries on board. And I want to encourage all of the business class within Trinidad and Tobago, the Massey stores, the True Values, the car dealerships, the developers, to come and have a meeting with us. Let's see how we could partner together for the members' benefit.
Well, I actually, I spoke about something along those lines some years ago, when I was talking about unions, and I say, if you're in a union, with the dues and everything that you're paying, shouldn't your union have a little pharmacy or something accessible like that to its members then, that makes pharmaceuticals, cheaper for the members of the union, or a grocery? Well, how come my union to open a grocery? Things like that now.
Well, I
understand what I'm saying?
I like that you mentioned that.
Oh gosh. Like a cut road for Kuti to run here.
Oh my God.
Forward thinking.
What I'm saying is that traditionally, persons view association business just fundamentally regarding negotiations.
Right.
And to a lesser extent, promotions and other work-related issues regarding terms and conditions. However, this association has gone outside of the box. And this association led by Team Prime has gone outside of the box. So you have mentioned housing, and there's still a lot to do regarding the housing that Mr. Russell spoke of, because there are areas where, based on the monopoly regarding developments, we have been stymied. But we can only get stronger. In areas of education, in terms of providing education grants, not only for our members, but also for our members' children, regarding medical, regarding entrepreneurship. We have police officers who are ambitious, and they have been able, based on the authorization of the commissioner, to have business enterprises. And with that, we have facilitated our entrepreneurs by providing an entrepreneur committee and an entrepreneur group. So you find that when the association goes out there and we do business, the persons we do business with first and foremost are our own police officers.
Your own police officers, okay.
Yeah, so the money stays within the membership. So it's not just that we have limited ourselves to what might be fundamentally association business, but we have also gone outside into that realm that you are just speaking about, where we can provide for our officers within a domain and treat with amenities that the wider public might, not necessarily have at particular price ranges.
Right.
So we had an increase in our dues. It increased from 100 to 140.
Okay.
And we have been explaining to persons what was the reason for it. Now, mind you, the increase was an authorized increase because it was sanctioned through a general council meeting.
Okay.
And that is important because there are persons who are saying that the process wasn't done the proper way, right? But the minutes are there, and the rule book is there to suggest exactly how the process took place. And $20 out of that $40 is going towards a multi-complex facility at Waterloo to provide exactly what you mentioned there. Because I know you're a visionary, and that, that supermarket type environment, where police officers can go and benefit from getting items at a reduced rate to other members of the public.
Right.
So it means to say that police officers will be in a coveted position.
Okay, because I've always said, if you're going to join a union, it must have more benefits than wage negotiations and protests, and you all can protest, right?
That's right.
As essential workers. So the thing is, there are a lot of things that this union can do that other unions can do.
Association. So,
right?
So we do
well, association.
Yeah,
this association can do that. Other, unions, which is the equivalent, right? They can do certain things that you all cannot do.
Well, they can do things that we cannot do.
Right.
But in terms of what we have been doing that other persons have not been doing, it's just a matter of doing exactly what you did just now there, being able to think outside of the box.
Right.
So we are not saying that they are not capable of doing a lot of the things that we have been doing, but when you look at the comparison regarding unions and other associations, we are ahead, leaps and bounds.
Now, a lot of people, because I do this program, so a lot of people, when they saw that the police took the 4%, I remember taking calls that morning as we're talking about, wage negotiations and that kind of thing. And,
bring it.
My boy was talking about kind of percentage on housing.
Yeah.
Percentage has been thrown around this morning. So,
of course.
Just on the 4%, I remember a lot of my viewers were calling and saying, but how the police and them go take that 4%, boy, Stefan, boy? Oh gosh, boy, why didn't stand the ground and this, that, and the other and hold out? Now, to the members of the TTPS that would have received that 4%, which, we were calculating, we were saying, taking it and not taking it is almost the same thing.
Right.
Because it's such a small increase, right?
Right.
And it really doesn't justify the work that not just the police officers put in, but all public servants, right?
Absolutely correct.
Especially coming off the back of a pandemic where police officers would have had to work or go beyond.
Yeah.
Some would have died.
And some, that's right.
Yeah.
And some lost their life.
Yeah.
And well, on losing lives, I'll bring another element to that I want to find out about too, because that seems to be a mystery now.
Yeah.
But I don't know what went on over the last few years. But just on the 4% increase, what was the? Let me see, boy. What made you all decide? Well, look, we're going to take this 4%.
Okay, excellent question.
Not stand.
Excellent.
Wrong,
and I'm glad that you have brought it into the discussion. So largely, a lot of the other teams are campaigning on the 4%. Firstly, we know that 4% was 3 years ago. We are presently in a new negotiating period, and we are much more encouraged by what we have been hearing and what we have been seeing. Having said that, the last offer on the table was 5%, and this association rejected the 5%.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean to say that because historically we were placed in a box and more or less back against the wall, and we accepted 4%, that it is the, the habit of this particular executive to just go ahead and accept things because they are presented. So just to give a build-up regarding the 4%, this association rejected the 4% in the first instance.
Right.
We
I remember that.
4%.
I remember that.
To the extent, and a lot of persons seem to have forgotten this, to the extent that we were in the industrial court. This association...
I can't remember all going to court, but go ahead.
Fortunately, the records are there.
Right.
And, it was publicized in a lot of the... Yes, we
were.
were. You were.
It was the decision to go to court was decided at a general council.
At a general council.
At a general council.
That's right.
All right.
So the general council mandated that the executive take this matter before the court.
Okay.
And we did do just that. We took the matter before the court. So as things develop, obviously you will get feedback from your legal advisor, your attorney, whoever, regarding the matter before the court. And, as time developed, persons became more and more anxious. You were getting different views coming out of the camp, what have you. And it is through another general council meeting that through an established quorum, the executive was directed to withdraw the matter from the court and accept the 4%. So it wasn't an automatic thing, and it wasn't the executive just woke up one morning and say, here what? You know what, we're going to now accept 4%.
Accept 4%.
Because I can tell you, from a personal standpoint, the 4% offer in itself was obscene.
Okay.
All right, to say the least. Notwithstanding that, we know that all other unions, with the exception of PSA, based on our records, accepted the 4%.
Right.
And it was an acceptance, not with any level of joy, but it was an acceptance based on circumstances and things that prevailed itself at the point in time.
Okay.
So it was with no joy that I think any union or association accepted the 4%.
Accepted the 4%.
Prisons, fire, defense force, what have you. So as much as you would have, at that point in time, heard the persons who were in governance,
Well, the CPR wasn't budging, to be fair.
And
Thank you very much.
When Mr. Pitt is competing,
Yeah.
if I could add something as well.
Yes, because my colleague there is being demonized on this issue. So the reality is that no one else got more than 4%. That is the reality. And to date, we are in a present negotiating period, as I mentioned. And history would have shown us that at the end of the day, although at that point in time, this is what we were boxed into, it's not a case of we are going to accept things like that going forward.
Going forward.
Right?
Okay.
So I would allow Mr. Russell to come in because, as I said, he has been somewhat demonized on this issue.
So
really?
Yes, because there is a voice note circulating. And we want to take the bull by the horns.
Right.
So 2 years ago, or more, when they had the General Council meeting, I attended that meeting.
Right.
Yeah? We had a full quorum. I don't like to waste time. I know people came there as to say yea or nay and direct this association. Because this association is an association that is directed by their members. They don't do their own thing.
Okay.
I saw it in my wisdom because I understand the value of money and inflation and how money operates. I move a motion that we take it out of the industrial court and we vote on whether we would accept the 4% or not. That is what I did. Move the motion. Persons voted the motion won. That is what directed the association to take that 4%. What the association did as well, they took a particular member who was a past president, who was in the association at the point in time when we got the 14%, because of his negotiation skills, notwithstanding he represents a different party. They asked that gentleman to accompany them. They forget party lines because we're dealing with membership and the love for the membership and getting the best value. They asked that member to accompany them to the negotiation table, which he did.
Okay.
And we still weren't able to secure anything more than 4%. Now, we all stand here and you know what $10,000 could have bought 2 months ago, it cannot buy today.
Well, yeah.
There were persons meeting you on the side and say, why you all don't take the money? Why you all don't take it? When you look now on how the association, how the agreement of that 4% was structured, should any other union or organization or institution under the public service banner get, let's say, 6%, we will get the 2% different. So what you were able to do, you were able to capitalize on your back pay when you had more buying power. If another union gets more, you also get more. And there are unions to this day that are still before the courts and are waiting.
Right.
So when they, whatever back pay they get, let's say they get 10,000, that 10,000 buying power now comes at $7,000, you know. We were able to capitalize. And for that, I think the association, being forward-thinking, should be commended. Let me say outright, I didn't want 4% either. But one of the things we face in the association is everybody at a different financial level, based on their rank, based on life, based on their commitments. So what 4% might mean an upgrade in a vehicle for somebody else. It might mean the renovation to put my daughter in her own room. It might mean next term's tuition for my child who is seeking tertiary education. So based on that understanding, and all I did was move the motion, and persons voted. So it's not to say the association accepted it.
You or the association that say, well, okay, we're going
As a member, you could move a motion.
Right.
Any member could move a motion. And I want to challenge persons as well. Even those who are going up on other states of presidency, they could go back and look at the minutes. Any member could go and ask to see the minutes if they so want to know exactly what transpired and who was present. Yeah. Because persons are spreading a lot of lies. Read this election campaign. A lot of lies.
Such is the case in any election. There is something I want to ask though. I know we just we got maybe about 5 more minutes again, but compensation for police officers losing their life in the line of duty. I know there was this thing with $1 million compensation, and then I don't know what happened to that. Do police officers still get that $1 million compensation?
It still stands.
That still stands.
It still stands. And I can tell you the last officer that lost his life in the Southwestern Division, at this point in time, all the documentation is being processed regarding his family benefiting from that $1 million.
From the $1 million. Okay, yes, so it still stands.
Yes, it still stands.
The other thing that I want to touch on, something that is very important, I guess, FULs for officers. Yeah. Right? I said it to the last team. I say it again, and I think I've stood by this decision, or this comment, or this way of thinking, this ideology. I've always thought that police officers should have their own private firearm.
Of course.
For many different reasons. However, it seems like there are the vast majority of officers on TTPS do not. Is that true?
Well, I don't have the data to say how much officers have and how much officers don't have.
But the process is not
fire. But
you have to go through the same process.
You have to go through the same process. And what we would say is that
find everything kind of.
And we are in total agreement with you that police officers and by extension even members of the protective services should be given a special consideration. And largely that was the mindset of this association, that police officers be given priority. Now we know at this point in time, it's pro-government to have persons be given FUL once they fit the criteria. Right. And we are saying that within that type of discussion is the need for police officers to be armed first and foremost. Because you would now want that all these circumstances be properly managed as far as law and order is concerned.
Right.
So, hinged on that is the necessity to ensure that police officers are adequately armed outside of their normal functions and duties.
Because I just want to find out something. Does that affect the way that an officer conducts themselves? In terms of, all right, if I am armed, 24, right? I have a firearm to go home with, and I know I have, when I go home, I have a firearm to protect my family then.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to not having a firearm, but I have to deal with criminal elements on a daily basis, and I might have to rough up one or two of them, depending on how things go, right? Which, in turn now, with me being unarmed when I out of uniform and I heading home, if there was a call a shot in local terms, if a shot was to call on me now, how do I defend myself? Does the absence of that firearm, that take-home firearm, that legal firearm, where you have that sense of security and safety and that you have something to protect yourself in the event of.
Yeah.
Do you think that affects an officer in the way that they
Of course.
or how far they go or conduct themselves?
Of course. As a police officer, when you carry out your day-to-day activities outside of your regular duties,
right,
you may encounter situations that you can, intervene.
Right.
And if it is that the situation is one where force is being used and deadly force is being used, or there's based on the circumstance, there's a clear indication that it could develop into something deadly, and you don't have a firearm, then it means to say that your level of intervention is now going to be measured based on what you are seeing.
Right.
So if you don't have something like that in order to protect yourself, in order to defend yourself, and in order to be effective, then you find that police officers may withdraw. And they may rely on now response, and the response mightn't be as quickly as we would like. So it places the police officer in a strong position to intervene. It places the member of the public in a good position where police officers who are in the vicinity
of a crime
serendipitous by chance, can intervene and ensure that person's safety.
Yeah, because
so it's an excellent point.
I mentioned it last. I have seen normal people. When I say normal people, people who are not police officers but they have a license firearm. We have seen countless videos of people going to put on a robbery, and it have a FUL holder in the area, and the man pull the firearm, Lego 2 shot behind them, and they go on running.
That's right.
And that's what they do. They run when they're under fire.
Yeah.
They don't stand up and shoot it out. But an officer with training, obviously, while FUL holders do go for training in order to use the firearm and certain things, a police officer has certain instincts and a different level of training to the average citizen, so that if officers are armed, I would imagine,
of course,
it would be a different playground.
We want to speak about with respect to that too is that a situation that faces us, and when you look at the legislation, 25 years and above for an FUL. However, you can join the police service, you can join any of the protective service and be trained in numerous firearms at the age of 18.
It will make sense.
So something needs to be, there needs to be an addressing of that. So you're telling me, let's say I'm placed in a specialist section. I had to wait, I joined at 18. I joined the job at 18.
Right.
I have to wait 7 years.
I have to wait 7 years, It don't make sense. A lot of things don't make sense in terms of law and how it's written. But
well, fortunately, we heard the Minister of Homeland Security mention that issue, and we trust, given the fact that he's very much akura with some of the challenges we are facing, that it is something that is going to be addressed within a short period of time. But I know Mr. Poliniais, he has been the advocate for so many things regarding special reserve police officers, and the last major issue that we negotiated upon or engaged the persons who have the authority to do certain things upon was the issue of absorption. So we are pleased to announce this morning that it has gained significant strides, and we are on the brink again of becoming part of something historic. And I can tell you that this officer, who has been part of all the meetings leading up to where we are at today, he was able to advance the type of representation that we know. If every special reserve officer was within those rooms and just a fly on the wall, they would have been definitely proud as to what they were hearing, and could have attested to the strength of the person cool in the eyes.
All right, nice man. Well, the other time actually went a little over, but I want to thank Team Prime for coming in this morning and speaking on several issues as they head into the Police Social Welfare Association elections on Monday. And, well, all members of the TTPS, you have your choice to make come Monday, and hopefully you will make the right one, all right? So I'm going to thank our friendly neighborhood police officer, acting ASP Pitt, of course, Cooler the Ice, and acting ASP Russell for coming in this morning. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got Seth Wyall aboard. Stay tuned for that. We will be back after this.
Elevate 2025 University Fair, Trinidad. This is more than just a fair. It's a space to connect, to ask real questions, to upskill and transform your future. Meet top universities from the UK, USA, Canada, and Caribbean, plus local institutions, companies and establishments, dignitaries and Caribbean alumni. Hear from a team that gets you real advice, real opportunities, and real success stories. Just a community pushing you higher. Benefit from university placements, admission guidance, career networking, scholarships, insider tips, and mentorship. AJ Academic Agency has invested in your success from application to alumni. Join us Sunday, the 6th of July 2025 at the Hilton Trinidad from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Entry is free. Elevate your options. Elevate your network. Elevate your future. Visit ajacademicagency.com to learn more.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet Rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleasured to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come. Fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church, San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the Word of God, preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
Have you thought about where you're going for lunch today? Well, Tante's Creole Food serves the best in local dishes at a great price. They're located at Alta's Panyard, Duke Street, Port of Spain. They offer the best in Creole, Chinese, and curry dishes. Don't miss their after-work special and soup Saturdays. It's cow heel, oxtail, pigtail, and chicken foot soup. And also, fish broth is on the menu. Give them a call or WhatsApp 734-3398 or simply visit them at the All-Star Panyard, Duke Street, Port of Spain. Safe and secure parking is also available. Tante's Creole Food, the best in town. Check them out today.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to celebrate a legend. In the ultimate tribute to the Calypso King of the world.
Education, this is the foundation.
Be part of an unforgettable night of music, memories, and magic as some of his younger proteges take the stage to honor the majestic and magnificent, the Mighty Sparrow.
This is no time to say you are federating no more.
All happening Friday, July 25th at the iconic Grandstand, Queens Park, Savannah. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. Tickets $300 and $250. But first edition tickets bought by Monday, June 30th cost $75 less.
For more info, call 491-1802.
Introducing Open Minds Primary School Lessons 100% online. Get quality education from the comfort of your home. Affordable, expert-led online tuition to help your child succeed. Register today. Call or WhatsApp 388-6635 or visit www.openminds.education.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh G. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh G. He is an expert in palm, face, and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh G at +1 86838438844. Located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
Don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Me and some pretty beaches I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I'm drinking rum today. Having fun today. Yeah! Holiday. Today is a holiday. I don't care what.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to celebrate a legend. In the ultimate tribute to the Calypso King of the world.
Education, this is the foundation.
Be part of an unforgettable night of music, memories, and magic as some of his younger proteges take the stage to honor the majestic and magnificent, the Mighty Sparrow.
This is no time to say you are federating no more.
All happening Friday, July 25th at the iconic Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. Tickets $300 and $250. But first edition tickets bought by Monday, June 30th. Cost $75 less.
For more info, call 491-1802.
All right, people, so we're back, and we want to thank Team Prime, of course, for coming through. We got Seth Weil aboard with us. We're going to bring him in shortly. Just before I get to Seth, I got to remind you to boost your immune system with Jameson Immunity products to fight off the seasonal sniffles, such as their cold fighter with echinacea. All right, they also have the vitamin C chews with the honey lemon flavor, and for additional support, you can try the delicious vitamin D3 chews and ultra strength zinc. Chew, fight, and feel amazing with Jameson trusted vitamins and minerals. Also, Flow. We got to remind you about Flow as well. So at Flow, their customers are their priority, and Flow is raising the bar and going all out for their customers with a commitment to be your partner that's always within reach and to provide you with a network that keeps getting better, because you, the customer, are at the heart of everything Flow does. Everything Flow does is to ensure that they keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what. So check out Flow today. And finally, I want to remind you about Steel Force Caribbean Limited. Yep. So Steel Force Caribbean Limited, located at number 47, lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. They are your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and direction, pipe details, storage tank details, including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set at API standards. They offer a wide range of services for residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So give them a call on 490-2771 or 399-7590. It is Steel Force Caribbean Limited, reinventing the standards on how we handle steel. And that brings us to Seth Weil aboard. Seth! I still can't get over you shaving this beard, you know, but don't worry yourself. All right. So, Seth, I understand there is some new data that has come out and presented itself on nutrition, and you want to share that data with us this morning. So, the floor is yours.
Correct.
So that's what I'm going to share my screen here with you all and get into it one time. So new data that has come out here. All right, just now, let me just share. Let me get this thing going here. All right, so as you know, I usually go from the usual site, PubMed.
PubMed, yeah.
All right. So let's pull up the data here. Let's look at the date. Published on June 14th, 2025. June 14, 2025. So it's from 10 days ago.
Right.
All right. So it's very recent. So it says here, the heading, back to the pre-industrial age, FALSTAT statistics of food supply reveal radical dietary changes accompanied by declining body height, rising obesity rates, and declining phenotypic IQ in affluent Western countries.
Just hold on one second. Hold on one second. Seth, what is declining body height?
So what they are looking at is height and stature on a nationwide level. So they saw that there's a decline in height and stature of people around the world over the years, because these studies run over spans of decades, right? Basically almost 150 years.
Okay.
All right, so they look at a lot of data that went into this. So I'm going to read the abstract and then I'll explain certain things. So it says here, from the abstract, meta-analysis of observational and clinical studies conducted in recent years have raised serious doubts about the validity of the low-fat dietary recommendations introduced in the late 1970s/early 1980s due to the absence of any convincing link between saturated fat and the risk of cardiovascular diseases. At the same time, long-term food supply statistics from the FALSTAT database show that these recommendations were at the root of fundamental dietary changes in Western countries, which resulted in a lower consumption of eggs and red meat, a higher consumption of cereals and poultry, a decline in average protein quality, and overall in a higher glycemic load of the diet. Because current views on human nutrition are based primarily on highly unreliable questionnaire data from observational studies, the purpose of this commentary is to provide an alternative ecological, country-level perspective and to trace the consequences of these nutritional changes using the FALSTAT database in combination with available anthropological and health statistics. This comparison shows a close connection between the decline in protein quality and the sudden reversal of positive height trend in some Western countries after 150 years of continuous growth, which points to suboptimal levels of child nutrition. The sharp increase in the prevalence of obesity and type 2 diabetes is strongly correlated with the increasing consumption of high glycemic carbohydrates and sweeteners, and is also interconnected with the decrease in body height, because of high-quality growth-stimulating diet during adolescence is inversely related to obesity. Given the long-term association between height and phenotypic IQ, the lower quality of nutrients in children's diet may also seriously affect intellectual potential and future civilizational development. In light of these findings, current nutritional strategies should be seriously reconsidered, and recommended protein intakes for children must be urgently re-evaluated. So let me stop there. So,
and this is 10 days ago. This is 10 days ago.
10 days ago.
That, yeah.
And it is a meta-analysis. Now, for those that don't know what a meta-analysis is, a meta-analysis is a statistical method of combining results of multiple independent studies, right? But it doesn't just take the results just to combine it, all right? What it does, it also analyzes those independent studies, it critiques them, right? And it revises the aspects of their methodology. So it's not just taking it blindly, right? They would critique and say, okay, these studies did not use appropriate methods, or they use appropriate methods. So they would identify the weaknesses in those studies, the biases in those studies, And all of that would come together for them to form a robust conclusion. So a meta-analysis is no joke, it's the pinnacle of studies. Remember when I did the hierarchy of studies some years ago, and systematic review meta-analysis was at the top. It is the pinnacle.
Top, yeah. Yeah.
So this year is a meta-analysis, right, regarding these trends in, well, what they found is that these dietary trends that were changed back in the 1970s and early 1980s, those changes that have been made to our diet is responsible for our ill health, for obesity, diabetes, the increase in sickness and diseases, the lowering in height status of individuals, and basically the dumbing of society. IQ has reduced as well, all right? And that's because we have dropped things like red meat, eggs, and saturated fat, and as they clearly stated, it was due to information that was not accurate. It wasn't any convincing information, wasn't any convincing science at all.
At all, yeah.
Right? When you read through a lot of it, you would see that a lot of changes that were made were actually politically motivated with regards to diet. And that's why, remember, I did a segment, I think 2 years ago, or was it last year, where I said that the government need to stay out of nutrition.
I remember that, yeah.
And so the entire society in the Western world is suffering now, having the most prevalence of these diseases like obesity and so forth. I remember I mentioned that Alzheimer's deaths have increased by 147% over the past 20 years. All of this is because governments made decisions without having any accurate information on it, politically motivated. And of course, I could throw in my opinion here where I say it was money motivated. All right, money motivated. Now, I like when I come across these high degree of studies that confirms everything that I've been doing.
Right.
Because it's confirming every single thing that I've been doing.
You've always said that.
Clinic.
You've always said that
Correct.
red meat has been demonized.
It has been demonized, wrongfully demonized, right? These studies is not just isolated studies, it's a meta-analysis. They took data from around the entire world, countrywide, right? Countrywide data from Falstad database, right? And then they also compared it with clinical studies. So this is just not observational studies, they also use clinical studies as well.
Right.
Right? And the conclusion is, we need to make changes to children's nutrition. And why children's nutrition? Because, of course, if you mess up a child's nutrition, when they grow, remember, their nutrition is already messed up, they are not going to grow up correctly. They are going to grow up with IQ issues, obesity issues, the disease issues. Their stature is going to change. They are going to be shorter and fatter, right? All of these things are going to affect us in the long run. That's why the state has a societal crisis, right?
Right.
We need to get our diets correct. Now, should we simply wait for government to make changes? There's too much money involved for them to. I would hope that they do. I mean, we have a new government in power, so we could hope for the better, right? But let's be honest, we shouldn't be waiting. We shouldn't be waiting for political changes in order for us to take guard on our own health, all right? And this is why at my clinic I re-educate. All of this just simply assures me and gives me more confidence in doing what I have been doing all the time.
Yeah.
Because it confirms and backs up with the highest degree of information as to what I have been doing all the time, right? We need to address health from a nutritional standpoint, from a dietary standpoint. Your diet automatically changes your lifestyle. That's what we need to understand. Your diet automatically changes your lifestyle. When you change your diet, your lifestyle follows it.
Correct.
But people need to be educated on proper nutritional habits and practices, right? And this is why my nutritional coaching, my nutritional therapy methodology is effective, right? This is why it reverses diseases. This is why it gets the results that it gets. And my program is based on science. It is not me sharing my opinions. And something I show people when clients come to me and I do the re-educational session with them, I highlight to them, I have no PowerPoints. I don't use PowerPoints. You know why? PowerPoints is your own creation, right?
Okay.
In a PowerPoint, you could create your own information, right? It don't have to be true. I go to the authorities and I pull up the authorities, their organizational data, credible sites, right? Everything is credible and factual. I use actual established, confirmed science, not my opinion. I have no PowerPoint involved in my presentation. And if you notice, I also don't use PowerPoints when I'm coming on this program. I pull the information from the authoritative organizations because I want nobody to say I make up the information, because none of the information I share is made up stuff. It is confirmed, factual, credible data. Right? So, people, this information here, many people will be watching the program and don't understand the gravity of what I just shared, right? But this is immense. It is immense, right? The gravity of what I just shared, they're saying that the entire Western diet is wrong. It is wrong, right? This thing that we have against the consumption of red meat is based off of no data, no science, right? Giving children, you know, one of the most dangerous things that people consume is potatoes, right? Potatoes, cereals.
Up to yesterday, I was telling a doctor, I went to get my ears irrigated, and I had a blockage in the ears there. And, you know, I was asking about that and thing, and he said, but, you know, and in the middle of the comment, I said, you know, I eat plenty French fries. Yeah, because I say, you know, I might...
so things to highlight, potatoes, cereals, seed oils. Is one of the most toxic things people consume, right? And these are things that we have made part of our culture in this country. This is why Trinidad is #1 for diabetes and the 14th sickest country in the world. Number 8 for obesity in children under the age of 5, and number 14 in the world for lower leg amputations. We need to get serious. We need to get serious and don't wait for government to make changes, right?
We're responsible. At the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, just before we run out of time here, at the end of the day, we are responsible for what we take off the shelf in the grocery.
Correct.
We are the ones that do the shopping. We are the ones that make the groceries. We are the ones that carry home the products. So
correct. And based on what you choose to buy, it affects what the grocery would stock themselves with.
Correct. If there is no demand for certain products, then they have no choice not to buy it. They'll say, well, it's not selling.
Correct.
And then you know, we push it in that direction. But it's going to take it's going to take a lot.
Education, it takes knowledge. If people don't have the knowledge, then they wouldn't know what they're supposed to or not supposed to be eating. What they clearly stated in this is the push for plant-based diet is wrong. That's what, when you read through it, they clearly stated, pushing plant-based diet, especially pushing that on children, is detrimental to health. It's detrimental to health. That is what it shows. All right? People, this is what I offer at Seth Wires Holistic Health Clinic. I re-educate you. You're going to understand and know what you're supposed to be feeding your children, what you're supposed to be feeding yourself, what the body is designed to eat and what is not designed to eat. All right? This is how we fix ourselves. This is how we fix our society. This is how we reverse diseases. All right?
All right. Well, Seth, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. And for those of you who want to get in contact with Seth, you can call him on 761-1952. That is 761-1952. Or you could WhatsApp him on 279-3935. Those numbers you'll get him on. Seth, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Great information. All right.
Take care.
So with that, people, we take the final break. We come back with a few birthdays. We've got 5 of them. Stay tuned.
waste this vacation, join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, we have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
All right, people, so we're back, and we got to wrap things up. But before we do, I want to remind you about Elders. That's right. So Elders, people, if you're not happy with your child, end of term result, don't worry, enroll them in Elders Vacation Bootcamp classes, and let's get them serious about their education and improve those grades for the new school term. Also, Elders has the 8 weeks conversational Spanish class that is open to students who just finished SEA, Form 1 to 5 students, and adults. So you could give them a call on 627-8642 or WhatsApp them on 715-5480. You could also visit them at 48A Pembroke Street in Port of Spain. All right? I want to thank Elders, of course, for their support for Run Stefan Run as well. All right, so we got some birthdays here, just 3 of them, sorry. And we get to that now. So, happy birthday going out to Ria. May God continue to bless you always. Do have a wonderful day. So this is Ria celebrating a birthday today. Also, good morning, Stefan. I would like to wish sisters Dolores and Dolly a happy, happy birthday today. I wish that they both have more health, strength, and wonderful and enjoyable day, and a wonderful and enjoyable day coming from all their family and friends. So happy birthday going out to Dolores and Dolly. And finally, happy 16th birthday to Angelo George, with love from his mommy, Shalicia, sister Angelicia, brother Zavion, uncles Mark and David, and Auntie Giselle. Wishing you health, happiness, success, and a long, fulfilling life. Nice one. So with that, that's it for today. We are out. Goodbye. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Behind the Badge and Pastor John. And of course, we'll have an interesting topic for you. So until then, have a great day.
Good morning. Welcome.